Welcome to Noblesville High School. Beaver Material Field. The ball game tonight's between the Noblesville Millers and the Zionsville Eagles. Welcome to the broadcast of Indiana High School Athletic Association football on Hamilton County TV, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating over 27 years in the business. Also like to thank our other sponsors, Noblesville Trophies, Community Health Network, Church Hidland Anthem, Hamilton County Radio, Hamilton County Reporter, and Deep Blue Computers. Well, welcome tonight. I'm Perry Williams. Alongside me tonight is Jerry Baker. Welcome, Jerry.
Thank you, Perry, very much. Can you believe we're halfway through the season? This is game number 5. We're halfway through getting ready for the tournament already.
Absolutely. I mean, it's right around the corner here, and should be an interesting game tonight. The Millers coming in here 0-4, okay. Has had a very, very tough schedule, and you and I have talked about it in the last few weeks. You've talked about it with me and with Craig, and it's a monstrous schedule. And of course, Zionsville coming in here 2-2, and they've lost the last couple games.
You know, they started the season on a hot streak. They knocked off Pike 17-7, then a 47-33 win over Lebanon. And over the last couple of weeks, they have really struggled. The Westfield Ball Club beat them 51-24. Westfield, a very good ball club. Then they lost last Friday night at Franklin Central, 17-14. And as Perry mentioned, Noblesville is 0-4. The schedule has just really been a bear. We'll talk more about that as we get underway here. Noblesville Millers 0-4. Their problem, they have no offense, to be perfectly honest about it. They're averaging less than 9 points a game, 8.8, and defensively they're giving up 35.3 points per game. Barry, that's not a good combination.
Absolutely not. And you know, the one thing about it is Zionsville has a very, very potent offense led by a sophomore in Colin Price. He's already gained over 832 yards in 4 games. So here we go, Jerry.
All right, the Zionsville Eagles won the toss, and they deferred to the second half, and the opening kickoff will go into the end zone, so we'll get the automatic touchback. And Noblesville will come out offensively with a quarterback that we saw a couple of weeks ago. They have made the change at quarterback. Jaden Barrett, a 5'8", 150-pound senior, will start at that spot. The wideouts will be Zach Blevins. He was the starting quarterback. He's a 5'10", 170-pound junior. He'll start at one wideout. And Holden Montarsi, a 5'9", 160 junior, will go at the other wideout position. The wingback will be Alex Zavac. He will start, he's a 6', 200-pound senior, so we're going to see him running the football much more than we saw him in the earlier games this year. Now they've made that quarterback change.
Absolutely.
So a first down attempt now for the ball club, for Justin Roden's ball club. They cannot get any kind of a ground game going. They gain about a half a yard there.
Yeah, and in this new offense that they started using this season, that it's very important that they develop a ground game. So, and that's what they've struggled. Even though they didn't do real well last week, they did better than they did in the first 3 games. So, but still, it's subpar right now, Jerry.
This is an offensive line for Noblesville. It's a good-sized offensive line, 245-pound per man average from tackle to tackle. And this time stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And the tackle made by Garrett Williamson. So, again, nothing doing. They'll put it pretty much back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Carson Cutler, Dylan Ray, Cameron Knight, he's the center. Then Michael Maris and Hayden Smith along that front line. Lucas Williams lines up at a tight end spot, a 6'4", 205-pound senior. They don't like to throw the football necessarily, Noblesville, but sometimes they've got to, and this is one of those situations right here. A 3rd down and about 9 to go for the first down, a long 9. Rolling left side is Barrett, trying to find some running room. The lefty fires and got a completion at the 30-yard line. It'll move out to the 32-yard line, and they get the first down. Good play.
Absolutely. That's catch by Butler.
Yeah, Barrett rolling to the left side that time. A pickup of about 11 yards on that play. So they'll mark it down at the 32-yard line. First down and 10. Jaden Barrett starting at the quarterbacking position. He did not start 2 games ago, but played a good portion of that game. The last week against Westfield was the starting quarterback and appears to have that job permanently right now. On a first down and 10 from the 32-yard line. Noblesville in the dark uniforms, white trousers. Here's the pass. It is incomplete. The Millers lost to Cathedral, a team that's number 2 in Class 5A. They lost to Carmel, number 3 in 6A. They lost to Fishers, number 6 in 6A. They lost to Westfield, number 8 in 6A. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
It's just a difficult schedule, and it doesn't get much better toward the end of the season. They'll have Brownsburg in here on the 11th, number 7 team in the state, even though they're 2-2, and then they'll close out at Avon, the number 2 team in the 6A class at 4-0 on the year. Caught right at the line of scrimmage, no running room. Third down coming up. Last week, Barrett in the loss to Westfield, 34-14, was 5 of 16 for 52 yards, a touchdown. They picked him 3 different times. Also, pretty good on the ground. He had 17 carries for 104 yards. One of the scores from Noblesville was a Carson Sanders block kick return for a touchdown. Now a third down and long again. They'll split the wideouts both ways. Here's Barrett coming near side. It is going to be caught. It'll be short of the first down. The pass to Carson Sanders. So a fourth down and about 4 yards to go for the first down. That'll bring in the punting unit. And this is one of the highlights for this ball club this year, Perry. Correct me if I'm wrong. Graydon Addison has really put on one heck of a show on special teams.
Yeah, he's been kind of the talk of the state and got some national recognition last week on some of his punts. I mean, he's had a 73, had a 62 last week against Westfield. So, yes, he is a good part of this game here.
High snap. He breaks it in. Here is the punt. It's a wobbly punt. It'll be taken right at the 19-yard line and brought down back at the 15-yard line. Good defensive pursuit that time by Noblesville. And in on that pursuit that time was number 4, Blaine McNabb. Beautiful punt. I was watching him in warm-up, Perry. Again, there's no pressure on him in warm-up. He was standing at the 50 and drilling the punts into the end zone on the fly. So he's good for 50 yards.
Oh, absolutely. I think he's averaging around 43, 44 yards.
As a matter of fact, I've got that somewhere here in my mess of notes. Yeah, he's averaging 42.9 yards per punt on 25 punts so far this year. So Zionsville will get the football for the first time of the game with 9:14 to go in the opening quarter. They will start at their own 18-yard line after a terrific punt by Noblesville. Out of the I formation, Cole Wiseman setting up at the quarterback spot, and he'll hand off over the left tackle and getting across the 20 out to about the 23-yard line. Wiseman will start at the quarterbacking position for Zionsville's Eagles, and he will have back there with him Cole Wiseman at quarterback, then Trey Firestone at wide receiver number 19. Keep an eye on him. He's the guy they like to throw the football to, and he's one of their key guys. As far as a running back, 33 Colin Price is the guy who will carry the ball on the ground. Here's the snap again, standing deep, firing on the far side. Pass is caught at the 20 and out across the 25 and across the 30, and good enough for the first down. So that's the first down of the game for the Eagles. Their offensive line coming into this game for Noblesville, 260 pounds per man from tackle to tackle. Joey Tanona, Zach Cibula, Gus Hartwig at center, then Connor Fisher and Cam McDaniel. McDaniel, one of the big guys at 250. In fact, they go 265, 270, 290 at center with Hartwig, 6-footer and 250. Hartwig, by the way, one of the best centers in the state of Indiana. On the ground again, just shy of the 40-yard line.
That was Price carrying the ball, number 33 for Zionsville.
Talking about Hartwig, he is headed to Purdue to become one of the Boilermakers. And the way their season is going right now, a little shaky up there.
They could probably use another lineman.
They'll be anxious to get him up there, as a matter of fact. 8 minutes to go in the opening quarter of play. First possession of the football game for Zionsville. They'll keep it on the ground again. It'll be just about out to the first down marker. We'll see where they spot it. It's out to around the 43. Colin Price, as we pointed out, will be the guy that will carry the ball for most of the game for Zionsville. Price, 117 carries, 839 yards. He is averaging just over 7 yards per carry and almost 210 yards per game, Perry. So that's the guy they got to keep their eyes on during the ground game.
Absolutely, and he's only a sophomore, Jerry.
Yeah, they got the first down, by the way, so it'll be the second first down of the drive. And nothing doing this time.
I think it's an illegal procedure.
They've got a flag, the first flag of the game. Yep. So the penalty will go for the first time against the Zionsville Eagles. I mentioned 260 is their offensive line average. They will use Brody Whitesell at wide receiver and Cam Cooper at tight end. The H-back is Dom Villacarella. So they've got a pretty good group of guys out there. And right now they're trying to get this offense turned around after they won the first two games in good fashion. Scott Turnquist, in his first year with the school, watched his ball club lose the last couple of games and put them back to the 500 mark with 7:12 to go now in the opening quarter. Homecoming tonight here at Noblesville. Good crowd on hand. Back to throw. Wiseman looks to the near side. Can't find anybody. Will keep it on the ground and get out to about the 45-yard line. He'll be hit and brought down just about back to the line of scrimmage. One of the defenders, Cody Leach, had on the stop that time. So it's going to be second down. They gave him about a half a yard. We'll call it second down and 9. H-back sets up to the right side of the offensive line. Wiseman sets up in the shotgun formation with Colin Price back there with him. Price will get the handoff, spins right at the line of scrimmage, and it's when he brought down. And that's Sam Steinhofer, the guy in to make the stop that time, so it's third down.
Yeah, and he's a young sophomore at 195, 6'1", 195, sophomore. The Millers got some younger players on that defense, Jerry.
Well, when I talked earlier in the year to head coach Justin Roden, he said just exactly what's happening, Perry. It's going to be some growing pains this year.
Yeah, and some kids are going to have to grow up.
Yep. And the fans got to stay with them. Third down and 9. Handoff again to Price over the right side. He will not get the first down. He'll be shy of the midfield stripe and a punting situation. It's a good defensive stop that time for Noblesville.
Looked like the tackle is Jacob Ham, number 47 for the Millers. He's a 5'10 senior, and he's been out most of the season. He played just a little bit in that first game and re-injured his knee, and so he's back here in Game 5. So he was one of the second leading tacklers last year for the Millers. So Jacob Ham is back in the lineup for the Millers. Let's see how he does tonight.
They'll get the punt away from right at the 40-yard line. The punt by Lucas Williams. He is not listed as the punter, but that's who it was. And it'll be Noblesville football for the second time in this first quarter of this football game. So 7 plays. They started on their 18-yard line, could not get that third first down they wanted so badly, had to punt it away.
Well, you know, Jerry, this is a little bit better situation than it has been in the first 4 games.
Yeah.
The first 4 games, the opponents come down and scored on them right off the bat.
That's a good start.
Yeah, but it's going to help having Ham back in that ball. I mean, Ham plays that middle linebacker, number 47, and he does a great job. He was a big part of that good Miller defense last year.
So it's first down and 10. The ball is spotted at the 17-yard line. And again, Barrett at quarterback. Here's the pitch to the near side, trying to turn the corner. Gets out to around the 19, and a flag flies. Ball carrier brought down.
Flag in the backfield there. I'm not really sure what it was, Jerry. It looked like it was a little late on when he tossed it. The play was already gone by. So let's just see what
the indications are. It'll be against the Millers.
Yeah, I think so. Holding against the Millers.
So they'll move it back 5. It'll be first down and 15. Millers have had trouble this year on the ground, as we pointed out. Unofficially, they have something in the neighborhood of 274 yards on 110 carries over a 4-game span. So that's,
That's not very good, Jerry.
No, it's not. I'm trying to be a
I
kind way to
understand that.
say
I
it.
understand that, but
Here's the move to the left side and back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
But I stopped by a couple times this week and watched the Millers practice. The kids are working hard. I mean, I'll have to say that, and Coach Roden and the coaching staff, they're challenging them every day. But it's going to take time, just like Coach Roden told you at the start of the season. It's not going to be an easy time.
So a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 16. The clock showing 4 minutes, 7 seconds to go on this first quarter of play. Noblesville High School on homecoming night tonight. Beautiful night for football. Circling right side and getting back to the line of scrimmage, and maybe a gain of a couple of yards, perhaps back to the original line of scrimmage, to around the 15-yard line.
That looked like T.J. Newman on the tackle, 6 foot, 265-pound junior. For Zionsville. That's a big boy. Jerry, you look back 10 years ago, these kids weren't that big.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these kids are huge now.
Well, this
weight program and all this training they're doing now and working out year-round.
Well, I was down on the field prior to the game talking to some of the coaches down there, and I'm just up here, they don't look that big. Down there, they look humongous. And looking to find some running room out across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And this is going to be well shy of the first down. Jaden Barrett, the quarterback, the ball carrier. So it's going to be a 4th down and roughly 7 yards to go for the first down, with the clock moving inside 3 minutes to go now. And once again, Addison will come in to punt it away. He'll get it away from about the 15-yard line. And we'll see what kind of a return that Zionsville could come up with. Miles Cox is their punt returner, but he's only averaging about 1 yard per punt return. He will take it at the 39-yard line. He'll hit him at the 40, so he'll give him about a 4-yard return. And it's from the 40. That was Miles Cox on the return. The Zionsville Eagles will come back to the line of scrimmage again.
The tackle was Hayden Smith, 6'1", 210-pound senior for the Millers.
So pretty good field position now for Zionsville. Looking at the numbers for their quarterback, Cole Wiseman, 42 for 88, good percentage, 54% of the year. About 48% completion percentage, 538 yards. He's averaging about 13 yards per pass completion and 134.5 yards per game. He's thrown for 5 touchdowns. He's had 6 interceptions, a long completion of 50 yards this year. 2.5 to go, first quarter.
Looks like a penalty. It may be on the Millers here. I haven't seen the indication of what it was yet.
It's going to be a holding call on Noblesville.
On the punt.
So they will walk it back some 10 yards, and that's going to move it from the 40 out to the 50.
So it gives Zionsville a very good field position here.
Crowd not in agreement. Perry, this is a terrific crowd on this side of the field tonight.
Oh, it absolutely is. I know it's homecoming, but it's a great crowd. And there's quite a people in the end zone bleachers too down here on the south side.
That's good because that's overflow territory. That's always good to see. And the Zionsville crowd is picked up on the far side. 30 minutes ago, there was nobody over there. Now they got a decent crowd. Here's the pitch out of the far side to Colin Price, and Price will try to turn the corner, get about 8 yards. Across midfield down to the 42-yard line.
Jerry, he's a power runner. I mean, when you give him a little bit of steam like he had just there on that play, he picked up 2 or 3 yards there at the end, just pure brute strength.
Price in the loss to Franklin Central a week ago, 38 carries for 168 yards and a couple of touchdowns. His best game of the year, well, he's had 2 really good games. He had 244 yards on 20 carries against Lebanon. Here's the flag coming out as the official blows the play dead. He was 20 for 244 against Lebanon in that 47-33 win. And then 2 weeks ago, He rushed 26 times for 257 yards, so 500 yards plus in 2 games. And a call this time, the penalty going against Zionsville. So they're going to mark it back. I didn't see the call, Perry. Was it holding again, perhaps? No, it couldn't be holding because it was a 5-yard penalty. So they move it back to the 47-yard line. It'll be second down and 7. Second down at 7. Clock at 1:44 to go now in the first quarter of tonight's game. Here on HCTV, great to have you along on a perfect night for football.
Fumble.
And a fumble. Loose ball is on the ground, picked up by Zionsville.
Oh, my gosh.
Forward. And a touchdown. That's a 47-yard touchdown.
I think the snap was flag on the play here. But anyways, there was a bad handoff between Price and Wiseman there. It kind of bobbled in the air, and Wiseman just kind of shuffled it out.
Got an ineligible receiver downfield. That will negate this whole mess here. Now watch it. Here's the fumble. And it's finally just picked up by Wiseman.
He just tossed it out there.
And he threw it
wide open.
Upfield. So negate that 40-plus yard touchdown.
So that's a big break for the Millers.
Oh, my goodness, yes. They'll move it back now across the other side of the 50-yard line. It'll be at the 48 now of Zionsville. So it's going to be second down and a dozen to go for the first down. Again, Wiseman at quarterback out of the shotgun. Price sitting back there with him. Wiseman wants to throw, has a receiver, and it's caught at the 41-yard line. It'll be about a yard shy of the first down.
That's Brody Whitesell on the catch. He's 6'6", 180-pound senior. That's a big boy.
And third down, and we'll call it 2. A little less than 2 yards to go. Wideouts on both sides of the offensive line.
I imagine Mr. Price at home, man. He's going the wrong way.
And
trying to turn that corner, and I think
he got it.
Yeah.
In fact, he got it down to the 36-yard line, so that's good enough for the first down, the first down of this drive, and the third of the game now for Zionsville.
Price has got pretty good speed, too. He got outside there and turned that corner for the first down.
Wiseman, pretty good runner on his own part. 18 carries for 56 yards, an average of just over 3 yards per carry and about 14 yards per game. But as Perry has pointed out, they want Price to handle the big load as far as the groundwork is concerned.
Yeah, because Price has got that big front line up front there.
Back to throw. Wiseman looking in trouble. Fires on the run. Just kind of threw it away.
Yeah, he threw that away.
That's good pursuit that time. And one of the guys in there was number 3, who is not listed on the 2 deeps for Noblesville. So we'll have to check who that is for Noblesville. That's Josh Durham.
And I think Lucas Williams was in there too,
number
88. So they were going after Wiseman.
Second down and 10. Clock now at 39.7 to go in the opening quarter of play. On the flat, on the far side. The pass is caught and running room and good enough for the first down.
Late hit. No.
Pass is caught out there by Trey Firestone. We mentioned earlier that he's the guy they like to go to, and that's the first time we've called his numbers. Good enough for the first down. Firestone comes into the game with 14 catches for 216 yards and a touchdown. Long reception to 48 yards earlier this season. So a good drive now by Zionsville.
Yeah, it looks like it's down there on the 23. Looks like.
Yep, spotted at the 23. First down and 10. And nowhere to go. Good defensive pursuit that time, but the runner manages to break away anyway and gets it down to around the 20-yard line, which will be a gain of about 4 yards on that play.
Once again, Mr. Price. Williams had him in the backfield there and just couldn't hold on, and he picked up 3 more yards.
That's going to take us, Perry, to the end of the first quarter. And after one, there is no score here at Noblesville High School. The Millers and the Eagles all locked up at 0-0.
Well, let's thank one of our sponsors, Logan Street Signs. Celebrating over 27 years of Logan Street Signs and Banners, specialize in that last-minute signage and banners. Serving Noblesville and Hamilton County. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or check them out on LoganStreetSigns.com. Also, Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provide you with that same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out on their website, NoblesvilleTrophies.com. Well, Jerry, we're going to the second quarter here, and we got us a 0-0 score.
You know, it's interesting. I noticed one of the notes that was in the paper earlier this week, a quote from Justin Roden, and his comment was the second week in a row last week that the Millers had outplayed their opponent in the second half, and they have done that very effectively. They have been outscored in the first half 105-7. In the second half, outscored 36-28. This may have been, Perry, their best first quarter performance so far this year.
Oh, absolutely.
No score yet. On a second down and 7.
Mr. Price with the carry.
And it's going to be a third down and about 7 yards to go for the first down. This drive began right at the midfield stripe, so they had good starting position as the second quarter just getting underway.
Tolliver on the tackle for the Millers. He's a junior, 6'2", 220 pounds.
So a third down and 4 over the left side. And good defensive pursuit that time, but they may have blown that play up.
Looks like Tolliver again just blew that completely wide open.
Yeah, Scott, number 55, was the guy who came in and stopped that one, and it's going to be fourth down. Fourth down. And let's see what they do with the
Looks
offense.
like they're going to kick a field goal here.
Well, Freeman will come in and do that job. He is 4 for 4 in field goal attempts this year with a long of 42. And they'll spot this one down at the 21, so a 31-yard field goal attempt.
So he's within his range.
Oh,
here.
Absolutely. Here's the snap. Hold is good. Kick is got plenty of distance, and it is good. 31-yard field goal.
So the Zionsville Eagles draws first blood here in the early minute of the second quarter, and they're up 3-0 over the Noblesville Millers. Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check them out on their website, ecommunity.com.
Well, Perry, considering this drive started at the midfield stripe, that's not a bad effort that time for the Noblesville defensive unit. They held them to a 31-yard field goal at the 10:33 mark. So Zionsville will kick it away. Couple of men standing inside the 5-yard line now for Noblesville. Millers hoping to get a good return on the kick. They have started 2 drives back at the 20 and back at the 17-yard line. Here's the kick. It's going to go into the end zone. The official, I'm not sure what that signal was. I thought he signaled for a kick into the end zone, but apparently not, so it was taken about the 1/2 foot line.
Yeah. Walton ran it out there, and he's a senior, a 5'7" senior, 140. He ran it out to, now we're
at the 15-yard line. So, again, not good field position for the Millers.
I was kind of like you. I thought he called it a touchback.
Well, he started, I thought the arm went in the air, and when Freeman took off with the football, why, they said, okay, let's let it go. Yeah. So with 10:25 to go here in the first half of this football game, here come the Millers once again. Jaden Barrett, number 17, it's the quarterback. They will run Drew Kniper out of the running back spot to put a man in motion, handoff up the middle, and back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Elijah Butler was the man in motion that time. He's the guy that up until a couple of games ago was their key running back. Kniper has done a really nice job. Butler likewise. And Zabak, we have not called Alex's name yet as the wide receiver in this football game. But again, Noblesville doesn't throw the football that much.
No, absolutely not.
So they gave him a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. The clock just moving inside 10 minutes here in the second quarter of play. Big Cameron Knight, number 62, over the ball at center for the Millers.
Yeah, he's an Indiana commit.
Here's the fake of the handoff, the pitch on the near side, and there's not much running room over there. In fact, it's going to be a loss of, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, depending upon the spot. And again, Perry, that ball carrier is Sean Kinslow. And again, I'm going on the two deeps we were given earlier, and
that's who it was. It was Kinslow.
So he'll be back to about the line of scrimmage, and a 3rd down coming up, and they'll call it 9 with 9 to go here in the first half.
Mullins was on the tackle for Zionsville on that play. He's going to throw long.
And he overthrew the receiver, intended receiver, by about 5 yards. Good airtime that time, but just too much airtime.
Yeah.
Pass intended for Holden Montarsi. And we're at a 4th down scenario once again. First couple of drives, the first one was a 6 and out with a punt. Second opportunity was 4 and out with a punt. And we're going to have to punt it away again. So here's Addison. Standing inside his own 5-yard line. High snap, drags it in, gets the punt away. And is going to hit at about the 41, 42-yard line of Noblesville. And in Noblesville's favor, moves down inside the 40 to about the 37-yard line. So, Perry, as much as we have talked about the offense or lack thereof for Noblesville, all we've seen so far with 3 possessions is punt.
Absolutely. But, the one thing about it is the ability Addison has, it can make a lot of difference in field position in a ball game.
He just turns the field around.
Yeah.
But good field position nonetheless at the 37-yard line for Zionsville. They've had decent field position. Last time they had it, they started at midfield. Would have started at the 40, but they had a penalty that moved them back to midfield. 8:34 to go in the half. 3-0 football game with the field goal just the last possession. Here's an open man on the near side, a slot man out there that gets it up to about the 50-yard line. And stopped right at the midfield stripe.
So that was Firestone on the catch there for Zionsville.
So he gets the yardage and enough for the first down. After the 50, a gain of 13 yards on that pass reception. First down and 10. Right at the midfield stripe. Here's the play being blown dead.
Looks like illegal procedure, maybe.
Yep. Going to be a false start on Zionsville, so they'll wreck it back some 5 yards. Back to the 45-yard line. It'll be first down and 15.
Jerry, we may see more of those throws out in the flats there to their wide receivers because the Millers are stacking it up pretty tight inside to try to slow down Price a little bit. So you may see Zionsville going to some of those passes out there in the flat to try to open this up.
Just looking at that offensive line of Zionsville, get a chance. I want to run down give you some idea how big these young guys are. First down and 15. Here's the handoff over left tackle and out to across the 50 and about the 47, 48, a gain of about 7. Their left tackle is Joey Tenona, 6'6", 265 at a sophomore. Zach Sibia, 6'4", 270 at left guard. The center is Gus Hartwig, 6'4", 290 at a senior. The right guard is 6'footer, 225 a junior Connor Fisher. And the right tackle is Cam McDaniel, 6'3", 250 and a senior. That goes along with what Perry was talking about a few minutes ago. These are men out there. 2nd down and 8. Pass caught on the near side at the 47 and shoved out of bounds that time. One of the guys out there is Carson Sanders again. Getting some help that time from various and sundry black-clad Noblesville Miller defenders, including Blaine McNabb. And it's 3rd down.
Cooper was on the catch for Zionsville, and there's again that throw out in that flat to try to open up that middle a little bit to get Price some running room is what they're trying to do.
Right down at the bottom of your screen, number 2, Brody Weitzel. He's the lone wide out of the near side. They'll put a slot man to the left side of the offensive unit. The clock at 6:25 to go in this second quarter of play. Again, Wiseman out of the shotgun. And they'll blow the play dead again. And a timeout's going to be taken by Zionsville on a 3rd down and 6.
Well, Jerry, obviously the Zionsville coaching staff must have saw something that they didn't like on that offensive play there, so they called a quick timeout. So,
speaking of coaches, Noblesville's coach is Justin Roden. 4-10 in his second year at the school, 51 and 37th year overall. 5 years at East Central, where he went 47-20, won 3 regionals, 2 semis, and 4A state championship back in 2017. For Zionsville, Scott Turnquist getting his first shot at a head coaching job. He was the former offensive coordinator at Carmel. He also coached at Zionsville under former head coach Larry McWhorter from 2005 to 2010. He replaced Paul Echeverria, who was 5 years there, and he moved to Pike after a 27-31 record.
I think that's his home school, isn't it?
Echeverria, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Millers defensively now with an important play coming up on a 3rd down and 6 at 6:19 to go here in the first half. Again, out of the shotgun is Wiseman. Back to throw, looking, got time, fires near side. It is caught at the 35 and finally dragged down by Blaine McNabb, but not before they get the first down. Second first down of the drive. And they'll move the chains on the far side of the field. It'll be first out of 10 at the 32-yard line.
Weitzel on the catch, McNabb on the tackle over there. So
this is important, in my mind, Perry, an important defensive series for Noblesville.
Oh, absolutely. They got to have a stop right here. Got to have a stop right here.
They've given up 3, and that's okay. You can live with that at halftime, but you don't want to get that next touchdown late in the quarter. Here's the handoff again to Price, who tries to go over the left side, and there's nowhere to go over there. Any number of guys out to make the tackle that time. And it'll be 2nd down.
Looks like Joshua Robbins, a sophomore, 5'9", 270, sophomore on the stop there with a host of other Millers to help him out.
So they stopped him right at the right of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 with 5.5 to go now in the first half of tonight's game. Here we go. Passing on the near side again. And it is almost picked off. Again, out there in the area, number 4, Blaine McNabb. 88, Lucas Williams likewise was in the area. And the clock will stop with 5:21 to go and a 3rd down, 10 coming up.
Big down right here. Big down.
So let's see what they got up their sleeves. Again, they will send number 2, Brody Weitzel, out to the right side of the offensive line. Set a slot man up to the left. Trey Firestone is the guy in the slot to the left side of the offensive line of scrimmage. Same formation they've used throughout the game. Back to throw is Wiseman. He can't find anybody. Finally fires on the run, and he is caught at the 16-yard line. A terrific throw and a great catch.
My number 80.
And that is Chandler Cooper on the reception. third first down of the drive, and if you're a Zionsville fan, could not have come at a better time.
Absolutely.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage, a first down and 10 of the 16. 5:05 to go here in the first half tonight. Zionsville offense starting to crank on. Here's the pass in the flat on the far side. It is incomplete. Pass intended for Firestone. Colin Price, we've talked about him. Last year was 10th in the state in rushing yards.
As a freshman.
Yep.
And didn't start. And I think I'm correct on this, he didn't start until the 5th game of the season because they didn't want to bring a young freshman up too early. And
yeah, he's very impressive. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, he's the real deal.
Clock just inside 5 minutes to go now here in the second quarter of tonight's game. Here's the handoff. There he goes straight up the middle, inside the 5, down to around the 4, perhaps even down to the 3-yard line. And it's going to be a first down and goal for the Eagles. And again, part of that blocking due to that big line up front.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you and I couldn't have, well, maybe not you and I, but someone could have. That was a big hole. That was a big hole there.
Don't go nuts, Barry. You and I couldn't have gotten through there if they'd have.
But that was a pretty good hole there.
Well, yeah. It's first down and goal from the 4-yard line. And here's again the situation. They're going to throw for it on first down into the end zone and overthrown. Pass intended for Firestone.
Richardson on the coverage over there on Firestone.
Zionsville unranked at the start of the season, and of course with those 2 losses back-to-back to Westfield and Franklin Central, have fallen out of any opportunity to get ranked in the state, either by the coaches or the Associated Press. So they are unranked coming into tonight's game. Had an interesting situation with them as far as their tournament lineup is concerned. We'll talk about that if we get an opportunity, because they're in one sectional this year and one class, and then next year they change everything over the right side and trying to win from 4 yards out. And that'll be the quarterback sneak by Wiseman.
Just pure power, that line just blew that hole wide open. We can see right here on that. He takes it. It's a keeper all the way, and just that push of that offensive line of Zionsville and the touchdown for Mr. Wiseman. So scores 9-0 here with the PAT following.
So a 4-yard touchdown run up the middle. And here comes the hold of Camden Cooper. And the point after attempt by Chris Freeman. Snap is back. Hold is good. Kick is up. It is also good. So with the clock showing 4 minutes, 19 seconds to go here in the first half of tonight's game from Noblesville High, it is 10-0 in favor of Zionsville. That last play, some 63 yards, 11 plays, 4-yard run, makes it 10-0.
While we got time here, Jerry, let's thank another one of our sponsors, Church Hidden Anthems, attorney at law. Since they were established, Church Hidden Anthem in 1880, our neighbors, our community leaders, businesses, and school districts have placed their trust in us to solve their most challenging legal issues. We have a rich history of helping our clients when they need us the most. Give us a call at 317-773-2190.
Last year, Noblesville lost to Zionsville 24-0. They're 3-7 over the last 10 games. The last win was back in 2016, 45-24, the third straight win, by the way. Zionsville leads the overall series by a count of 15-3. As I mentioned, Noblesville has been outscored in the first half of the previous 4 games, 105-7. But in the second half, they've improved dramatically, being outscored only 36-28. But that's no consolation if you're 0-4. So Zionsville will kick it off once again for their own 45-yard line. The Millers will get it.
Not sure where somebody called a timeout or something here. Because I thought they came out and lined up.
Yeah, they did, yeah. Let's see where the timeout is going to go. It looks like it's going to go with it'll go to Noblesville. This year, Noblesville moves up to 6A. They moved from Sectional 3 with Carmel, Fort Wayne, Carroll, Fort Wayne, Homestead, and Snyder of Fort Wayne in 2019 this year. Next year, they go to Sectional 4 with Fishers, Hamilton, Southeastern, and Westfield. So they didn't do you any favors there.
No, but the thing that happened there, Jerry, is Carmel's going south.
And that changes everything.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Elkhart has a couple of schools that are going. Is it Elkhart? Yeah, it's Elkhart.
Yeah.
That are going to merge. No, they're going to merge, and that changes the dramatics
of the north
altogether.
What's that Westfield Southeastern score?
And we'll talk a little bit about Zionsville's situation because theirs is even more unique. 4:19 to go here in the first half of tonight's game in a 10-0 football game. Here is the kick. This one will go into the end zone, out of the end zone. And Noblesville will get to start this drive from the 20. Based on enrollment trends, it will be only a one-year situation, but Zionsville, the third smallest of the 32 Class 6A schools this fall, and only above Valparaiso and Columbus East, will play in 6A this year. Sectional 5 with Avon, Brownsburg, and Pike before moving back to 5A next year in Sectional 12 with Harrison, Kokomo, and McCutcheon as a result of those two Elkhart schools' consolidation. So, Perry, that whole thing, and that's due to that success factor and the school's attendance rolls. So it's first down and 10 for the 20-yard line now for Noblesville. The Millers would love to get something in on the final 4:19 here in the first half.
Pitch to the outside.
Got some running room, still on his feet, and going to be knocked out of bounds. I think it's good enough for the first down. Looks like the officials got it spotted at about 12 yards out. So a good run that time.
Elijah Butler, number 22, 5'10", 175-pound senior.
And we haven't called his name
yet.
No,
we haven't.
He's been one of the key runners behind he and Drew Kniper at the running back spot. So they get the first down. That is only, by the way, the second first down of the game for Noblesville. Went out of bounds, and that stopped the clock at 4:12 to go. Here in the first half of a 10-0 affair. Out of the I formation again, they set up. They will move a man in motion, keep the ball on the ground, and get about 5 yards again. They got plenty of time, Perry. There's no real pressure as far as the clock is concerned with 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Kniper on the carry for the Millers.
He will get about 4. It'll be second down and 6 to go now in the first half.
Jerry, at the half, over at Southeastern, Westfield 10, Southeastern 7. So
pretty good ball game there.
Absolutely.
That Westfield ball club is really tough this year.
Yeah, they're running 4-0 right now, and pretty well run over everybody so
HSC's not, they've had some up and down games this year. Normally they're a club you got to pay attention to, and apparently that's the case tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, they came out to the beginning of the year and beat Lawrence North, and then the second game, North Central. I mean, they led the entire game in the fourth quarter. North Central scored 10 points and beat them 17-14.
I'm just looking, Perry, at the tournament coming up. As we pointed out, we're halfway through the season. I look at teams like Hamilton, Southeastern, North Central is 2-2 record right now. Forget all of that. This is going to be a wide-open affair again this year.
Absolutely.
It's going to be terrific. Third down at 5 for Noblesville. The Millers with the football on their own 38-yard line. And looking for some running room and trying to find the receivers. Got room to get the first down. Across midfield and out of bounds at about the 46, make it the 46-yard line. So a good run that time for the quarterback, Jaden Barrett. And that's one of the reasons, Barry, they've got him in here right now. He does so much more when he gets in trouble. He's a good runner.
Absolutely. I mean, we all, Coach Roden knew coming in the season that Jaden was his best athlete on the team. in those first couple of games when he had him at wide receiver, I mean, he wasn't getting the ball. When your best athlete can't get the ball, you got to do something different.
He wasn't part of the offense. I mean, he was, because he was one of the receivers out there, and they did run him on occasion, but you want him to handle that football as much as he can.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Good drive going on with 2:43. Now you got to start paying attention to the clock, and I believe there's going to be a delay of game call. Man, that just kills you. That moves it back across midfield to the 49-yard line and makes it 1st down and 15.
You know, type of things like this, Jerry, this is what makes head coaches want to pull their hair out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, you got momentum going. You're down 10-0. You know, if you could put in a score here at the half, and then you get a delay of game, it's just a killer.
Well, let's see if they can make up for it. 1st down and 15 for the 49-yard line this time. They get 2 first downs in this drive. Barrett's in trouble.
He's in big trouble.
Gets away from one, gets away from 2 tacklers, and breaks it and gets back to the original line of scrimmage. So that's a gain of about 5 yards that time. And again, done strictly on the running talent of Jaden Barrett. So they'll move it back to where we started this drive. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Now the clock is of significance because it's down to 2:15 here in the second quarter. This time, wideouts everywhere. Will they throw the football? They don't have to throw. They've still got time, and they got some timeouts if they want to use them. Out of the shotgun, Barrett wants to throw. Got a receiver, and it was almost picked off, threw it well behind the intended receiver, and a 3rd down.
Jerry, that kind of looked like the quarterback thought he was going outside, and the receiver went inside. So there was something happening over there, because that was basically just a spot throw there. And
yeah, the only good thing about it stopped the clock with a minute 55 to go. And Barrett will face a 3rd down and 10. You figure they might be in 4-down territory here.
Yeah, and this is a big play.
This is a monster.
They got to get some yards here. But you're right. It's knowing Coach Roden, this is going to be a 4th down play. It's not the play I thought that he would.
No, either a busted play or a quarterback
draw. It had to be a busted
draw.
Play, because that's not looks like he's going to kick. No, we're going to call timeout.
So we'll get a timeout taken by
Barrett. Came up limping there, Jerry. So
that's not a good sign.
No.
So a timeout has been taken, and there's no indication yet who called the timeout, Barry. The scoreboard's still showing 2 timeouts left on both sides, and I wouldn't be surprised if the timeout didn't go to Zionsville. They'd love to get the football back with about 45.
I would think that's who it went to, but you're right. I haven't seen any.
It is taken by the Millers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that is their 2nd timeout. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and more important one you could not find in this football game so far. Noblesville and Zionsville tied 0-0 after 1, and then Zionsville knocked home a 31-yard field goal at the 10:33 mark of the second quarter, then came back about 6 minutes later. Got a 4-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Wiseman, and that's where we stand right now, 10-0. Minute 45.
They're going to punt here.
Well, they've got Addison in to punt the football away on 4th down. I thought they might try to go for it, but that would have given Zionsville awfully good field position had they not made it.
Don't count this. Yeah, he's going to kick it.
Addison now with a little pooch kick, and it hits that inside the 5, and going to be knocked down right at the 1-yard line. 46 yards on the 45 yards on the punt, and no return. Wow.
Jerry, and that's what we were talking about earlier. That kicking game is a huge part of a football game for anybody. If you got a good kicking game, it could take you a long way.
As I mentioned, you just turned the field upside down. However, you don't want to punt. You've had the ball 4 times, and you've had to punt the ball 4 times.
Absolutely.
You really prefer not to do that.
Yeah. But this, and the one thing about it, 1:35 left, the Millers cannot give up a big play right here.
I look for them to use a timeout. You figure that Zionsville is going to keep the ball on the ground to keep that clock running. Right now, they just want to escape, get to the locker room.
Yeah.
Standing about 5 yards deep. Here's the handle up the middle, and that blows that theory to pieces. There's the first down and more across the 25 out to almost the 30-yard line. A gain of 28 yards on that run. And that's the killer right now. Now, Zionsville feels like it's in business with a minute 25 to go.
Yeah, and then now they can do some things.
Yeah, they can. That
so now you're not going to see run
No.
right now. They're going to take a look and make something happen here.
Now they've got 2 timeouts left. That run by Colin Price. The clock at a minute 19. Here's the pass over the middle.
Right up the middle.
And out to the 50-yard line. And quickly they will try to get back to the line of scrimmage. The clock will stop while they reposition the chains. So 2 plays, 2 first downs. They've covered 49 yards in the first 2 plays. A minute 12 to go in the first half. Looking to throw. Going to try to get a bunch of it if he can. Upfield,
he made that catch.
Caught
was he out
inside the 20 down to about the 15 or 16-yard line. And the official says no catch.
Yeah, can we see that?
He may have stepped out of bounds. Let's see, Perry. Here it is again. Watch the right side of your screen. Oh,
yeah,
well, that's
close.
That's a catch.
Yeah, it was close.
All you need is get 1 foot down, and I swear he did. So it'll go down. It's an incomplete pass. No replays in high school. So with a minute 1 to go, they said it worked this time. Let's try it again. Now they'll go the other way.
Again.
Over the middle, pass incomplete at the 20-yard line. And the clock stops at 56-7. Now, let's see. They may want to run and try to get that first down. And with Price in the backfield, the way they have run, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't go that away. Again, they'll spot Weitzel, one of the wideouts to the right side. He's out there with Camden Cooper, so they get 2 wideouts. Set on the right side of the offensive line. They'll put Firestone up at the top of your screen in a double set out there.
Let's keep in mind, Mr. Weitzel's 6'6".
And behind the line of scrimmage, they get the pass off, and they're going to get the first down and more, and get the clock stopped at the 35-yard line.
A great job over there by Firestone. He saw that the quarterback Wiseman was in trouble, so he came back for him to throw it to him. Great play by Firestone, especially only a sophomore.
Oh yeah, and this time they set him up on the right side of the offensive line. That big fearsome Fisum up front now with 45 and a half seconds to go here in the second quarter of this game. Instead, they'll hand it off, and straight up the middle goes Price.
Smash
he is
mouth
down
football, man.
to around the 30-yard line, and we'll get a timeout.
Looks like Jacob Ham then there for the tackle for the Millers. Another timeout here.
A timeout as they get about 5 yards. It's going to be second down and 5 with 39.1 to go in the first half. Again, it is homecoming night tonight. I understand you were in a parade yesterday?
Today.
Was it today?
Yeah, it was at 4 o'clock today. We had the parade. I came back, took the car back down to the dealership, got back here. I've been getting it. I've been getting it today.
You've been getting it?
Yeah. So
well, when I got here a long time before kickoff, like 2.5 hours, I got caught in the parade.
My goodness, that's a mess.
That was coming in here.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting out there going, what in the world is going on? And then I realized, okay, the parade is moving in here. So
I'll tell you what, the one thing about it is, Jerry, that's a tradition that goes back to the early 50s here at Noblesville. And it really hasn't changed that much. I mean, the floats aren't what they used to be, but the enthusiasm, the parade through town and all that, the windows decorated downtown.
You gotta love it.
You do.
39.1 to go here. Here's the pass over the middle. Caught. Good enough for the first down inside the 20, down to around the 15-yard line, and still plenty of time to go. Fourth first down of this drive with 32.3 remaining.
Fenella had the catch for the tight end for Zionsville. I think that's his first catch for the night.
They will spot the ball at the 15-yard line, and Zionsville will use its final timeout of the first half. I was at a parade one time. Terry, this is one of my embarrassing moments. Guy asked me to come down and be the grand marshal, This is down in Martinsville.
Oh, okay.
One of the big fall festival parades.
Uh-huh.
And the guy was blowing smoke. Oh, hey, man, we want you to come down. We want you, this, that, and the other. We come down, and you'll be the guy. You'll be the lead guy on the parade. And I said, well, okay. And the last thing he said before he hung up was, oh, by the way, can you bring your own car? That's how important I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah.
You're what we need for the parade. But by the way,
Wait,
we don't have a
bring your own car.
Yeah, we don't have a car for you.
Yeah.
It was bring your own convertible.
Oh, okay.
Which
Yes.
that made it even more difficult.
Yeah.
So with first down and 10, the ball spotted right at the 15-yard line. 32.3 to go in the first half. Over the middle, passes caught inside the 5 down to the 3-yard line. That's a terrific throw and catch to Brody Whitesell that time.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a first and goal.
Yeah, just a pure slant over that middle right there.
Yeah, nothing fancy about it. They'll set it up at the 3-yard line.
Stop the clock here.
And they'll spike it it'll be second down and goal from the 3 with 21:4 to play.
Jerry, I think it's halftime. Here at halftime, there's a lot of festivities going on. So I think we'll probably won't have an interview. We'll try to do the festivities here with I believe they crowned the Queen and they honor the 50 and 25 year.
That sounds great.
So it's a pretty good ceremony here, and then we'll come back. So
fade pattern in the end zone overthrown. Will Wolford is our producer. He tells me we can get good audio coming from the field, so we'll just let you enjoy the halftime.
Absolutely.
17.5 to play. And this is a situation, Perry, this is the worst nightmare for Noblesville right now.
Absolutely.
They had a chance to get something on the board. Now they're just trying defensively to stay alive.
Touchdown.
Over the middle of the pass is caught, and a touchdown.
Feccarello on the catch. Feccarello on the catch for the tight end.
Okay.
You know, one thing this series, there was 3 passes to the tight end, so evidently they picked up something and started using the tight end. But they have tremendous weapons here on offense. They're a great offensive team with the running and the passing game here.
So Dom Veccarella, who's listed as the starting H-back, picks up the 4-yard touchdown reception. And here's the point after attempt. And it is good.
Well, the one thing about it is that right now, I mean, the Millers, they're going to be kicked off. They got to make a clean catch here and go in the locker room and regroup. But the second quarter's really got it kind of out of hand. They've scored 17 points, and the sad part about this touchdown just now, Jerry, I mean, they had them on the 1-yard line.
In fact, that drive, since it only goes to where they no, it does go all the way. It's a 99-yard drive in 14 plays, and with the point after making it a 17-0 football game.
But the one thing about it, I mean, they just completely picked the Millers apart offensive. Their offense just picked the Millers apart.
5 first downs in that drive. We talked there, Perry, when they had it back at the 1, we're thinking, okay, do they just want to kill time and eat the clock? And then our thought was, okay, they're going to run the football, but instead they go to the air and picked up 49 yards in the first 2 plays.
Absolutely. And I think you're right. When they were down on the 1, I think they were content to just run the ball.
Yep.
And then, Price, gets that long run, and, it's a totally different ball game.
So the kickoff is taken inside the 5, back at about the 1-yard line.
Oh.
And breaking free and getting out to the 44.
Wow.
A 43-yard kickoff return, but only 6.8 seconds remain here in the half.
So Mary Rogers Walton, man, that was close, man. He almost busted that wide open.
Let's see where they put it down officially. At the 44.
Zane Bates for Zionsville, the cornerback. he made a terrific save there because he was heading to the house.
Well, let's see what happens now. Barrett will come out. He might squeeze 2 plays out of this, but if he goes in the air for any distance, it's going to be the final play of the first half. He will drop back, and this will pretty much eat the time. And he's going to be lucky to get it away. Still running, picks up a block, and still running. The clock is well down, and he gets back. He gets the first down territory, but
it's meaningless.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. So we are at halftime. And as we pointed out, it is homecoming night tonight. Good crowd on hand on both sides, as a matter of fact. Zionsville shut out again. And this is part of what we talked about, or what the coaching staff talked about, how things have not gone well for the Millers in the first half. They have now been outscored 122-7 in the first half of the now 4.5 games this year. And one of the things that Perry and I talked about at the outset of our broadcast tonight was the fact that Noblesville's offense just is non-existent. They come into the game averaging 8.8 points per game. And, Perry, that's due in no small part to the fact that they just simply do not have a ground game they can depend on.
Absolutely.
Just nothing out there. They're giving up an average of 35-3, and that's pretty much where they are right now, having given up 17 points in the first half of this game. Zionsville, on the other hand, averaging 25.5 points per game, and they're also struggling a bit defensively, giving up 27 points per game. So, Perry, before we get out of here for halftime, your thoughts on the coaching staff? Zionsville's got to be fairly pleased right now. They'll try to fine-tune that offense in the second half.
And the Millers have got to regroup.
Yeah, they really do. And again, Perry, in the games that we have seen this year, there have been opportunities out there for Noblesville. They have just let them get away.
Absolutely.
All right, so we will take a break. We'll pick up the halftime ceremonies going on here on homecoming night at Noblesville High School. Again at halftime, it is Zionsville 17, Noblesville nothing.
When medical care is needed, where will you turn? With Community's Connect to Care program, one call or click finds you the closest open appointment. Request a time yourself, or let us do it. From a primary care doctor or virtual visit, to a med check or community clinic at Walgreens. Just call or click. You can go right to our website or to me. Connect to Care from Community.
Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes. They don't always meet in an underground fortress. Sometimes they meet in places that appear to be very ordinary to most people. But inside, there are heroes in training. Some are smart, strong, or brave. Maybe they can build cities or heal people when they get hurt. But even superheroes need some help sometimes. With your support, we can change the world. Together, we are a force that can't be defeated. Support the club. Save the world. Support your local superheroes and donate now to the Boys and Girls Club of Noblesville at bgcni.org.
Hey Deb, why do they call us Logan Street Signs and Banners?
Because we started off at Logan Street.
But we're on South 10th Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
Why didn't we change the name?
That would have just confused everybody and they wouldn't be able to find us.
Now I'm really confused.
Bill, we're Logan Street Signs and Banners, conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street in Noblesville. Can I help you?
Yeah. I'm looking for Logan Street Signs and Banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
You're telling me that Logan Street Signs and Banners isn't on Logan Street anymore?
Exactly.
So what are you saying?
Logan Street Signs and Banners, conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street in Noblesville, Indiana.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
50 years ago with 8 wins and only 2 losses. Noblesville became the Hamilton County champion when they defeated the Cardinal Greyhounds 22-20. And 50 years ago this evening, the Noblesville Millers defeated the Sheridan Blackhawks 22-8 on this field to win the 1969 homecoming game. The head coach for the Noblesville Millers that year was Mr. Jim Belvin, a Hall of Famer. Members of that team joining us here tonight are the following: Mr. Lanny Carmack, Mr. Bob Dorman, Mr. Tim Black, Mr. Kenny Gillen. And Kenny was our former Noblesville Fire Chief. Thank you for your service, Kenny. Mr. Jerry McCoy. Mr. Bruce McMahon. Mr. Lynn Taylor. And cheerleaders, Christy Oates and Jan Kidrow. And it's an honor and privilege to introduce one of the assistant coaches for that team, a longtime Noblesville teacher and coach. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Dave Marsh. And fans, we would also like to recognize those members of that team that have passed away, Mr. Tony Gunn, Mr. Ray Dixon, and Meg Campbell. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for our 50-year football
Alumni Anniversary Team, Go Millers! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field your varsity Miller Girls Dance Team. They are coached by Bailey Mann and Beth Muller. And we want to remind you to join the Miller Girls November the 21st for their mini Miller Girl Clinic. Visit Noblesville Miller's website or the dance team Twitter at IHSSA Miller Girls for more information. Miller Girls, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, our student body was worked extremely hard all week to get out ready, putting together their floats. Here are the results from the judges. Fifth place, the juniors. Third place, the sophomores. Runner-up, the freshmen. And yes, believe it or not, the seniors, winners of this year's 2019 class float competition. Great job, the class of 2020.
We are back now at Beaver Materials Field. And I hope you enjoyed the halftime activity. Homecoming night tonight here at Noblesville High. Kind of recap the first half for you, let you know what happened. Noblesville out in front, Zionsville out in front by a 17-0 score. The Zionsville offense, first time he hit the football on their own 18-yard lines, how they started the game. It was 7-0. They had to punt the football away, but the next 3 times they had the football, they scored. But it was a 0-0 game at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, at the 10:33 mark, a 31-yard field goal by Chris Freeman, making it 5 for 5 on the year. Made it a 3-0 affair. About 6 minutes later, Wiseman, their quarterback, Cole Wiseman, a 4-yard touchdown run, making it 10-0 as the PAT likewise was good. And then with time running out in the first half at the 14-second mark, it was a touchdown by Dom Vecchiariella, a reception from the quarterback, Cole Wiseman, from 4 yards out, made it 17-0, and that's how the score stood at halftime. The Noblesville Ball Club had the ball 4 times in the first half and never ran the ball more than 6 or 7 times. Had to punt the football away all 4 times of their possession. And as we talked, Perry, that's been the downfall of this ball club throughout the campaign this year. They have now been outscored in the first half, 122-7. They've got to find some kind of offense for the second half.
Absolutely. That, and I'm sure that's what Coach Roden focused on there at halftime. An interesting score around the area here is Hamilton Southeastern 24, Westfield 10.
That is a shocker.
Absolutely. In fact, it's about 1 minute left to go in the third quarter.
Because Westfield's undefeated.
Yes, Westfield's undefeated. And Southeastern has scored 10 points in that third quarter.
Other games going on tonight in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. It is Franklin Central at 3-1 at undefeated 4-0 Avon. Fishers undefeated 4-0 is at Brownsburg. Bulldogs a deceptive 2-2. Westfield, as we just mentioned, at Hamilton Southeastern. Westfield is 4-0. Hamilton Southeastern is 1-3. As far as the other number 1 teams in the state in Class 5A, New Pal 4-0 versus Pendleton Heights at 3-1. They're number 12 in Class 4A. In 4A, New Prairie at Mishawaka. New Prairie is 4-0. Mishawaka is 3-1. They're number 7 in Class 5A. And 3A, West Lafayette at 3-1 on the year. Number 1 offense in the state, by the way, at 54.5 points per game. They are against Rensselaer Central at 4-0, number 4 in Class 2A. In Class 2A, Indianapolis-Scecina unbeaten in 4 games against Ron Colley, a surprising 0-4. And in Class 1A, it's Indianapolis Lutheran. They're 3-0 on the year. They had a game canceled last week because some of the officials didn't show up, so they're 1 game shy. Cascade is 1-3 on the year. This is some of the teams around the state and their rankings. So we're about set to go now for the second half. And it will be Noblesville kicking off to begin the second half of this game. Well, Zionsville will have the football to begin the second half. We'll check the lineups. No change to the quarterback, I'm sure. Wiseman running at quarterback, and Colin Price is the guy they've had running the ball for the majority of the first half for Zionsville. Zionsville 2-2 on the year. Noblesville looking for its first win in this is the 5th game of the season. Here's the kickoff, taken back inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. Straight up the middle across the 20, 25, out to around the 29-yard line. And it is from that point. It is from that point that Zionsville will get the football to begin the second half. So they'll start at the 29-yard line. And again, Barrett at quarterback. We'll check it. Wiseman at quarterback for Zionsville. Eagles have scored 3 of the 4 times they have touched the football here in this football game. Left side across the 35 and almost out to first down territory. About an 8.5 yard run. They'll spot it down for 8 yards. And that again is Price. So a gain of 8, second down and 2. From their own 38-yard line. Here's the pass on the flat on the far side. A terrific defensive pursuit that time. I think it's Jeremiah Broadhead that made the stop that turn.
Jerry at Fisher's Brownsburg. Brownsburg's leading 35-10. Another kind of surprise there.
Fisher's undefeated.
Yes.
Brownsburg 2-2.
Yeah.
But as I pointed out, that's a deceptive 2-2.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a loss, and it's going to be third down and 5 for Zionsville. They'll put a man in motion. Number 80, Camden Cooper, resets. And they will hand the ball up the middle. It's going to be shy of the first down. So we'll see now. This is exactly what Noblesville needs, Perry, is some kind of a defensive stop, get that football back in some kind of
they need to score.
Position. Yeah.
They need to score. It's very important here in this third quarter early that they get something on the board.
It's fourth down and really a short 2 yards to go for the first down, but they're going to send their punter in. Well, the punter that we were given is Chris Freeman. And fair catch taken at the 30-yard line. So that's pretty good field position. In fact, that's the best field position they've had in the entire game. So the Noblesville Millers will start at their own 30-yard line. Again, Jaden Barrett, the quarterback. They've used Elijah Butler and Drew Kniper at the running back spots. 4 possessions in the first half for Noblesville, and on each occasion they had to punt the football away. Their longest drive took 7 plays. Had to kick the ball away on the 8th play of the drive. A couple of minutes gone here in this third quarter. Let's see how they handle this offense now. Barrett. And they got it a little bit over the right side, a couple of yards maybe.
Jerry, this is kind of interesting. 5:23 left to go in the fourth quarter. Warren Central 10, Ben Davis 14.
Ben Davis having a tough year.
Yeah.
Really a tough year. So a gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8 now.
That's why we play this game in college and high school football, right?
Absolutely. Noblesville, as I mentioned, lost to Z-Town 24-0 last year. They're 3-7 over the last 10 games, and overall the series 15-3. The lead belongs to Zionsville. Clock is running at 9:15. Third quarter just getting underway. And on a second down and 8, a gain of maybe a yard, if that. So we're facing a third down and long situation again. They'll spot the ball right about the 33-yard line.
Central Catholic in third quarters leading Tipton 21-0.
I'll tell you what, Perry, moving Carmel out of the north really frees up the north.
Yeah,
there is just nothing up there in Class 6A.
Yeah.
Now, you can talk about Penn and all these other schools, but I'm telling you, when it comes down to competition, it's not there.
Yeah, I mean, in 6A, it's all in the central Indiana.
Absolutely right. Now, years ago, that wasn't the case.
Right.
On a third down, the pass is incomplete. They had a receiver upfield, completely
wide open.
Overthrew him. And we're looking at a 3-and-out again for Noblesville. I'm not real sure what Justin Roden does with this offense. He has shifted the quarterbacks now, made the quarterbacking change, and they just simply have no ground game at all. And they've got to find some way to get at least 2 or 3 yards. They need a couple of chunks of ground out there.
That certainly did.
Fourth down and 8. And here comes Addison again.
it has to have, Justin Roden's got to be scratching his head on what to do next.
Yeah, I agree. So the punt was not one of the better ones for Addison, and the return takes it out across the 40. Good field position again for Zionsville. And again, for the 5th time in 5 possessions, Noblesville has to punt the football.
You know, and the one thing, too, and I know these are young men and they're in good shape and everything, but, defensively, that front line of Zionsville has got to be beating the Noblesville defense up front to death. I mean, because they've been on the field a lot. I mean,
exactly. So the second possession of the second half now for Zionsville. First down and 10 for their own 41-yard line.
It certainly looks like that Zionsville wants to throw the football, though. I mean, they've kind of backed off on giving the ball to Price here in this third quarter. So
I'm a little surprised because I would think they'd want to keep that clock
running.
Me
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So it's second down and 5. And again, they run but pretty much the same formation. Wideouts on both sides of the offensive line. This time they'll keep the ball on the ground and maybe get 1.5 yards, a couple of yards. And third down and about 5 yards to go for the first down.
Of course, the Millers are tightened up in that box there. He didn't get anything at all.
Third down and officially 4 to go for the first down now. Weitzel right at the very bottom of your screen. They use him mainly, it appears, as a decoy. They've only thrown to him a couple of times in the game. Key target receiver is 19, Trey Firestone. Firestone normally sets up on the left side. They have put him in the slot on the right a couple of times. Third down and 4. Wiseman looking. Wiseman throwing. And it's incomplete. Fourth down. So 3 and out on the first drive and 3 and out on the second drive.
So the punters are, they're going to have their leg guys stand.
Well, we talk about special teams, and we're seeing why they're important.
Yeah, certainly are. Barrett's back by himself back there from the Millers. Very dangerous runner, as we know.
Here is the punt. Oh, good defensive play coming in. They didn't throw the flag. The punter went down. And here is the punt it's going to be marked dead inside the 30. In fact, about the 20, about the 21-yard line. So 2 series possessions and 2 punts for Zionsville here in this third quarter. They'll put the ball at the 22-yard line. Second possession of the second half now for Noblesville. Their first drive began at the 39. They went 3 and out. So they'll set up at the 22 with 7:12 to go now here in the third quarter. Zionsville showing blitz, and straight up the middle they go across the 30, out just almost at the 35-yard line. That's good enough at the first down, and a good run by Drew Kniper that time. Kniper gets the first down, the first down of the second half. Unofficially, that's only the 4th first down of the entire game for Noblesville.
And that was a pretty good hole there. I mean, he had a good hole there, and the fake was carried out very good by Barrett because 2 guys tackled him from Zionsville.
So Kniper gets the first down, and with 6:40 to go now in the third quarter, he will bring the ball club back to the line of scrimmage and put a man in motion. Here's the inside handoff again, and that one went nowhere.
Yeah. Carmel up 17-10 in the fourth quarter. In another county score here, Western 51, Hamilton Heights 13, and they're in the same situation the Millers are. They just cannot get anything going up there.
Carmel playing Lawrence North.
Yeah.
So with 6:10 to go now, here in the third quarter, it's a 17-0 football game in favor of Zionsville. No score at the end of the first quarter. Halftime is where we are right now, 17-0. Slot man set to the left side of the offensive line now for Noblesville.
Center Grove 13, North Central 3 at the half.
And the whistle will stop the play dead prior to the execution of the play.
Illegal procedure, you think?
And I'm guessing. Yep. False start against Noblesville. Back them up 5. A couple of good games in the Class 6A. Number 4, Fort Wayne Snyder against number 10, Homestead. It's played at Homestead. And as Perry pointed out, Fishers is ranked number 6. They're 4-0. They're playing Brownsburg. It's funny, Brownsburg is ranked 7th in the state, and they got a 2-2 record, which shows you the respect for the Bulldogs.
Absolutely, because that game last week between Avon and Brownsburg was a heck of a football game.
And as luck would have it, Noblesville's going to be here in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
He's got him.
It doesn't get any easier.
No, it doesn't. Got him on the 11th. 8th game of the season. Here's the pass. It is caught at the 41-42-yard line. They're going to give him the yardage. It's still going to be shy of the first down, but a good throw and a really nice catch that time. But still shy. And it'll be third down and about 4 yards to go for the first down.
Zach Blevins on the catch for the Millers, number 23.
And guess what? We got a penalty. So ignore that great catch.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can figure is it's a procedure call again. The officials are gathered around discussing this, so maybe it's more than just that.
Brownsburg's up 42-10 now.
Personal foul. A personal foul called against Noblesville. They did not indicate what the foul was, but it's going to take it back 15 yards and put it at about the 15. So it's going to be second down and a long way to go for the first down. Carson Sanders, number 9, comes back in now for the Millers. It's about 29 yards to go for the first down with 5:08 to go here in the third. Out of the shotgun again. Pass is caught far side, out across the 20 to the 22-yard line. Oh, it's a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Still a long way to go for the first down.
Great pursuit by the Zionsville defense.
Oh, yeah.
To smell that out.
Zionsville, we pointed out, they give up some points. They allowed 25.5 points per game. Against Pike in the first game of the year, they gave up 51 yards rushing, which was tremendous. But against Westfield, they gave up 383 yards on the ground as Westfield scored the first 8 times they had the football. Third down, 23.
It's a bad pass right there by Barrett.
So it's a fourth down and long. And with the punt coming up, despite how good Graydon Addison has been this year, this is going to be a punt that's going to give Zionsville
pretty good field position.
Yeah, great field position. Deep man standing on his own 33-yard line. I don't really know that, well, I shouldn't say he doesn't need to stand that deep, but the way Addison kicks the ball is probably a wise decision. He'll get it away from about the 15-yard line. He does, and it is a beauty. And that guy knew what he was doing because it's...
he had to back up a little bit.
He did. 33-yard line out to about the 47 yards on the punt return. But once again, no offense for Noblesville.
Bowen and Groover. No, not Groover. Bowen and Blevins over there on the...
Well, we've seen nothing but punts in the second half.
Yeah.
Noblesville's had the ball twice. Zionsville's had the ball twice. In each occasion,
punt.
So it's first down and 10 now for the Noblesville, for the Zionsville Ball Club with the ball spotted at the 40-yard line. Again, the last drive with the 41 and couldn't do anything with it.
Oh, just couldn't hang on.
Here's the pass, one of those quick outs. And there was some running room out there. The
Yeah,
pass
sure
was intended for and touched by Camden Cooper, but he couldn't hang on. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
I think he wish he had that over again because he
yeah.
was wide open.
He really was, and there was a lot of yardage out there available to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clock stopped at 4:02 now here in the third quarter. Wiseman at quarterback. Colin Price has been the workhorse of the backfield on the ground. And he will get the football, head up over the right side, gets a block, picks up a couple of blocks, now turns the corner, gets it across midfield, and down to around the 40-yard line. Finally spotted right at the 40. He gets the first down.
You know, Jerry, right there, I mean, you can tell Price, great runner. Watch him pick up his blockers. He looks, he kicks outside. He waits on his blockers to come and help him out, and he gets a big gain there. I mean,
well, I mentioned earlier, 117 carries for 839 yards coming into the game tonight. He averages just over 7 yards per carry and almost 210 yards per game. 3:35 to go here in the third quarter.
Got to scramble all that pocket.
Wiseman will get out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Pretty good defense that time by Noblesville.
Yeah, they had good defensive coverage there, and that's why Weitzel had to run the ball.
Shut things down pretty well, but nonetheless, clock keeps on trucking, although he went out of bounds. It stopped it with 3:27 to go in the third quarter. So 2nd down and 8 to go. Here's the pitch, far side. This is Price.
Trying to get outside.
And he will not get the corner turn, but nonetheless get maybe 2 or 3 yards and a 3rd down and about 3 or 4 yards to go for the first down. So nice defensive pursuit that time by the Millers.
Man, surprises keep happening, Jerry. 17-7 with 1:14 left to play at Carmel. Lawrence Central, Carmel are tied.
That's is it Lawrence Central or Lawrence North?
North. I'm sorry.
North, okay.
Lawrence North.
I'm not surprised that anything happens in the MIC anymore anyway.
Absolutely.
On a 3rd down and 4.
He's going to make it.
Oh. Wiseman turning the corner on the left side. The question is, did he get it? And if he did not, I would not be surprised if they go for it on a 4th down in Noblesville territory. Well, the spot, no, they're not going to get it. I don't think where the spot is. They're going to be a good yard, maybe 2 yards shy of the first down. So a decision to be made by Scott Turnquist in his first year as the head coach at Zionsville for the Eagles. They will go for it on 4th down and 2.
Probably Price.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Nope, maybe not. Quarterback keep, and they're going to get caught behind the line. Yeah, it is Price. Yep.
There's a flag there.
And they caught him behind the line of scrimmage.
What do you think, a hold? I thought there was a flag I saw.
I don't see. Well, they're huddling up, so we'll wait and see. It is a holding call against Zionsville. It is declined because Noblesville gets the football.
Absolutely. That was a big one right there. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Warren Central 17, Ben Davis 14. Ben Davis is threatening on the Warren Central 8.
Here again, Ben Davis is what, 0-4? I think they're 0-4.
Or he might have got one game. 1-3, I think, maybe.
And Warren Central's 3-1.
I think he got Pike, didn't he?
I would assume they did,
I think Ben Davis beat Pike.
If that continues, it just continues to jumble up everything.
It's a mess.
First down and 10 for Noblesville on their own 35-yard line. Third possession of the second half.
Barrett's not getting up very quickly. They're going to help him out. got hit pretty good.
Again, Jaden Barrett's been at quarterback. He's was moved into that position actually a couple of games ago toward the second half of that game when they were playing Fishers. Came in and took over for Alex Zavak. He's been there ever since, trying to get some kind of offense. This time they'll keep it on the ground and run it over the right side behind Michael Maris and Carson Cutler, and got a couple of yards.
Jerry, here, you know, and I've had a lot of people tell me this, coaches that I feel like are pretty knowledgeable of the game. Avon 42, Franklin Central 7. I mean, not surprised that Avon's winning, but you know, that's a good football team now. They may surprise somebody.
Well, they got a wake-up call last year when they didn't get as far in the tournament as they thought they were going to. Circling near side is Barrett. And Barrett's going to be good enough for the first down. Yeah, good run. On a third down, Barrett gets the first down in this drive, second of the second half.
You know, Jerry, one thing, too, in the 3, New Pal 41, Pendleton Heights 6. I mean, New Pal's a really tough football team. Not sure they will be challenged this season.
They got a final game of the year against Delta. That might be the one that'll test them a little bit. 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Still 17-0. No scoring in the quarter. In the ground game over the right side. This time maybe a yard again, and that's been pretty much the whole theory of the game. A yard here, a couple of yards there. And most of the yardage that Barrett has picked up has been when he's had to scramble.
Yeah.
Put the ball right at the 50, so it'll be a gain of a couple. And second down and 8.
Southeastern, a pick 6, lead Westfield 34-10. Was less than 2 minutes to play.
That's a bit of a surprise there, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, last week, Fisher's pretty well put it on Southeastern.
Yeah. Westfield's an awfully good football team.
Yeah, I mean, it's just this Hoosier Crossroad Conference, mid-conference, is crazy. I mean,
yeah, they're going to have to hustle to get this play off. We're down to 8 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Now we're down to 5.
They're not going to make it.
Barrett out of the shotgun with 1 second to go. He does get it away with nothing but goose egg showing. And the pass is caught by Sean Kinslow. And that will get us through the third quarter of this game. No scoring in the first quarter, no scoring here in the third quarter. So through 3 here at Beaver Materials Field on the campus of Noblesville High School, the Millers trail by a score of 17-0 to the Zionsville Eagles.
Let's thank one of our sponsors. Since the establishment of Church, Hidler, and Anthem in 1880, our neighbors, our community leaders, businesses, and school districts have placed their trust in us to solve the most challenging legal issues. We have a rich history of helping our clients when they need it the most. Give us a call at 317-773-2190.
So the fourth quarter is coming up. Noblesville with the football. 7th play of the drive coming up that started back on their own 35-yard line. Was which ends of the field. Looking ahead for Noblesville next week. They go to Franklin Central, a ball club that's 3-1. Then another road game. They go to Hamilton Southeastern on the 4th of October. They're 1-3. Then they get to play Brownsburg and Avon, 2 of the top 10 teams in the state. So there are no walkovers in the conference and outside the conference. Final 12 minutes of the football game, and here is the punt. And again, it's a high punt. And it's going to be a Noblesville bounce down to around the 11-yard line.
That rugby-style kick gives is tough to catch, you know, and I mean, you know, you got to be really careful how that comes.
Just stay away from it. Yeah. Just get out of dodge. Right. So Noblesville has now had the football 7 times in this game, and on every occasion they've had to punt the football. Not a
stat you want to be proud of.
No. That's not a recipe for success. No. First down and 10 for Zionsville from their own 12-yard line. At least they have backed them up. And now the defense for Noblesville will go to work. Hand off over right side. Price with a little running room. One of the things he also does, and I think you made reference to this, Perry, a few minutes ago, he's big enough that he can get yards after contact.
Oh, yeah. He's getting, when they hit him, he's getting 2 or 3 extra yards. I mean, every time he's a bull.
He got 6 and probably was hit after about 2 or 3. So he continues to churn out yardage. 2nd down and 4 after the 6-yard gain with 11:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Try him again. Took 2 or 3 guys to get him, but he's out across the 20. And that's going to be good enough for yet another first down.
You know, the one thing I talked about earlier, the middle linebacker, Jacob Ham, being back in action here tonight. He fills a big void in that middle of the line for the Millers. The last 2 times he's been in on the tackle.
I said yet another first down, but that's only the second first down of the second half for Zionsville. They'll fire in the flat on the far side, and the ball is caught and moved out across the 35, and yet another first down.
But the one thing over there, Jerry, on that they had him, and they just tried to shoulder tackle, and he got right by him. I mean, so those are the kind of things that make coaches stay up at night and holler when he shows the video to the player whenever.
So they get the first down again. Now some pressure in the backfield, and they are going to get the tackle made. A great defensive play by Skyler Tolliver.
We called Tolliver's name quite a bit tonight. He's done a nice job.
Here he comes again. What's 55?
I mean, he fights off his block.
Well, the good thing here, he has him. He could have let him get away right then, but he stayed right on the tackle.
Yeah.
A loss of 9. It'll be 2nd down and 19. I continue to think about the comment made by Noblesville head coach Justin Roden about the second half of play of his ball club. They have played really well in the second half of the games despite being 0-4. Pressure, Wiseman trying to find somebody, will finally run to the near side and just run out of bounds.
Good coverage by the deep backs for the Millers there.
I mentioned earlier, Noblesville has been outscored in the first half, 122-7. In the second half of the 4 games this year, they've been outscored 36-28. So they've been much better in the second half. They just can't get any offense cranked on. They are scoreless in this game.
Warren Central goes and Ben Davis go are tied at regulation 17-17.
A little overtime, huh? Pass intended upfield this time for Firestone. No dice.
Carmel's going on overtime against Lawrence North. Both Lawrence North and Ben Davis are fighting for their lives in that MIC.
So Cam Cooper, averaging 38.3 yards per punt, will commit now to punt it away. The ball spotted at the 31-yard line. Cooper standing back inside his own 20, almost back to the 15-yard line. He'll get it away from about the 20. So again, Noblesville should have decent field position with the clock showing 9:27 to go.
Millers are going for the block. They don't have anybody back.
And the ball will hit and roll in favor of Zionsville inside the 10. Well, it put it down right about the 10-yard line.
Flag on the play back there. It was roughing the kicker. Is that what it was? I was following the ball, but there is a flag back.
It is a personal foul. It is running into the kicker.
The Millers brought the house. They were trying to make something happen there. I saw when Barrett was slipping up there that they were going to go for the block and not any run back.
All right, the ball was at the 30. it was about the 36. No, check it, the 31. And the penalty, was that going to give him enough for the first down? That was my question. I'm not sure it's enough. So. It's going to be short by about a yard, maybe 2. So they pick up enough yardage to maybe go for it now on 4th down after the punt, after the roughing the kicker. So they move the ball up to the 46-yard line. Now they've moved the chains on the far side to make it a 1st and 10.
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm not sure that was enough yardage, but I guess it doesn't matter now.
Westfield falls to Southeastern 34-10.
So on that 1st and 10, a gain of 5 of the first play, make it 2nd down and 5. Ball just across the 50-yard line. And the clock continues to wind inside 9 minutes now in the 4th quarter of this game. We talked about the schedule for Noblesville. Zionsville is home against Hamilton Southeastern next Friday. Then they go to Brownsburg, then home to Avon, then they go to Fisher. So their schedule's no piece of cake either.
And now we don't know about Hamilton Southeastern, so because they just beat Westfield. So,
in other words, you better be prepared.
You better be ready every week.
Better bring your A game, huh?
Yeah.
3rd down and a couple of yards to go for the 1st down now.
Or that old saying, you better have your big boy pants on when you come play football in both these conferences.
Price has been the real workhorse of this Zionsville ball club tonight. Colin Price, number 33. They'll use him as a blocker this time, and they'll get the pass complete at the 40-yard line. Down the far sideline, and finally bumped down inside the 10 at about the 7.
Man, let's watch that play here.
So many yards after contact.
He gambled, missed. There's another miss. Another miss.
And Brody Weitzel comes up with the big gainer.
The big 6'6" boy is.
Weitzel coming into the game had 13 catches for 183 yards, a long of 39. That'll pretty much equal that. A couple of touchdowns to his credit. And we got a timeout with 7:42 to go. Got an injured player on the near sideline for Noblesville. It's number 11, Sam Steinhofer.
Looks like it may be a cramp because trainer Pete Dewar's out there trying to rub that. Maybe in his knee, I don't know. I better quit guessing. I don't know.
It's the 4th third down of the drive, by the way, for Zionsville. I had talked about the fact they only had 1 first down of the second half. That was on that 3rd possession, but now they have picked up 4 in this drive. One of those by way of penalty. And the ball is spotted at the 7-yard line. With 7:42 to go, Zionsville on the cusp of scoring again. And Perry, you mentioned it earlier, one of the downsides to what Noblesville's had to face this year, the drives by the opponents, including Zionsville tonight, can wear out your defensive unit.
Oh, yeah. Those guys got to be gassed out there.
So here we go now on a 1st down and goal from the 7-yard line. Here's the handoff to the guy we expected to carry the football, Price. He'll hit it down to about the 5, a gain of a couple. And it's 2nd down and goal. The last time Noblesville went winless in a season was 1967. It's been a while. They would not like to equal that mark, if at all possible. Clock continues to wind down, heading towards 7 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Hand off again to Price. Circles left side, knocked down at the 1 or 2. One of the guys in there is Greg Langlois on the tackle for the Millers. And it's going to be second down. Check, it should be third down. No, it is second down and goal.
It's going to be against
a personal foul against
the Millers.
Millers.
Half the distance.
So it's about a 1 yard penalty is what it really comes down to. So they spot the ball at the 1 yard line. Zionsville banging on the door again. Well, let's see if they want a quarterback sneak it or hand the ball off to the running back, Colin Price.
I think they've done both tonight.
Yeah, they have. Price has scored. Wiseman has scored. And instead they go to the air. I said that Price has scored. That's not true. Freeman had a 31-yard field goal. Wiseman, a touchdown from 4 yards out. Then Becariella, a 4-yard run.
Price hasn't scored. That kind of surprised me.
He's done everything else, hasn't he?
Yeah. We're going to kick a field goal here.
Yeah, fourth down. Let's see. They'll spot the ball. It looks like on the 14-yard line, so a 24-yard field goal. But wait a minute here. A timeout had been taken.
Timeout Zionsville.
Interesting timeout. It's fourth down and goal with 6.5 minutes to go. So we'll see what the coaching staff at Zionsville, Scott Turnquist's gang, come up with. It's a ball club last year that 6-5. You mentioned New Pal. They lost to New Pal 29-17 in the sectional a year ago.
Carmel just beat Lawrence North in overtime 23-20. Lawrence North kicked a field goal, and they were up 20-17, and the Greyhounds just quarterback sneak, touchdown. Greyhounds, they win.
So they are going to go for the field goal. Check it, the ball's on the 8-yard line. Yeah, they'll be spotted down to the 8, so it's an 18-yard field goal attempt. Here is the kick by Freeman. And it's up and good. 18 yards.
So the score's 20-0. Let's thank another one of our sponsors, Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 27 years, specializing in last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or check them out on their website, loganstreetsigns.com.
Now, when you call over there, ask for Jim. Don't deal with the top guy.
That's right. That's right.
Well, it's a 20-0 football game with 6.5 to go now in the fourth quarter. And we'll start seeing some subs, I would assume.
I would think so. Decatur Central blocked a field goal, and they won 24-21. That's a final. Decatur Central over Mooresville.
Here's the kickoff. It'll sail deep, and I mean almost out of the end zone. So The touchback will give Noblesville the football for the fourth time here in the second half. They will start from their own 20-yard line. They've had the ball 7 times. They have punted 7 times. Their longest drive was the last one. They started on their 35 and ran 6 plays and had to punt the football away. They did the same thing on the first drive of the game. It looked pretty impressive on the opening drive. 6 plays, but they had to punt the football. Now they've got it again on their own 20.
6:33 left to go here in the game.
Let's congratulate the fans here, though. I know it's homecoming, and a lot of people showed up for that particular bit of festivity. But they have come out and supported this ball club, and they're struggling right now. Here's the pass. It's almost intercepted in and out of the hands of Shane Bates. So nothing doing with first down, second down and 10. What's 41? Well, he had a.
Oh,
it was right in his hands, wasn't it?
Yep.
Clock stops, 6:29, fourth quarter. Noblesville being forced to do what they don't do well, and that's pass the football.
Yeah.
They don't like to do that, but the ground game is just simply not there. Until they find one, they're going to be in this position
every week.
Yep, every week. So they'll try it again. The pressure is on. Barrett escapes momentarily and found a receiver at the 42. Well, that's a good play. That's Elijah Butler coming out of the running back position.
You got a kid down at Zionsville. I think he had his leg tucked underneath him. We can see it here on the play, the injured player. See, is he right there? Nice pass by. I mean, those are the kind of things that.
It's pretty impressive. That's a 22-yard hookup.
Yeah.
22 yards, give them a first down. The clock is stopped for the injury to the Zionsville player.
Let's thank another one of our sponsors. Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provide you with that same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or noblesvilletrophies.com.
Well, this is good to see. This is Connor Upmore.
Yeah, he's up.
Getting up.
It's always good, Jerry, when they get up.
You betcha. First time we've called Upmore's name in the game, and of course, it had to be in a negative situation. He will head to the sideline, and with 6:20 to go, Noblesville on a terrific pass play, some 22 yards from Barrett to Butler. Probably their best offensive play of the game. First down and 10. Rolling left side is Barrett. And he escapes and gets across midfield. In fact, picks up the first down and a whole lot more as he goes down to the 44-yard line.
Mr. Barrett's doing it all right now.
He is right now, you betcha.
He's passing, he's running, he's going to try to get this ball in the end zone.
And that's one of the reasons that the coaching staff had to make the change at quarterback. They got him in there. He can run the football. Loves to play quarterback. Now he'll roll left side, trying to find a receiver, and he overthrew his. Well, I'm not sure he did. They had a receiver that he overthrew, but they had another receiver on target downfield. And it's incomplete nonetheless. Second down. From the 44. Clock stops, 5:47 to go. $20-0 football game. Noblesville is not really threatened in the entire game. Sanders comes to the bottom of your screen to the right side of the offensive unit. Barrett wants to throw. Got a receiver way upfield, and it is incomplete.
You know, Barrett can throw the ball pretty well.
Oh,
Jerry.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that was that Owen Jones? I couldn't get the number from up here where we are. If it was, it's the first time they've targeted him in the game. And Jones has done a couple of nice things. A couple of passes for 9 yards.
You know, he's
coming into tonight's game.
He may have thrown to him over there.
3rd down and 10. Pressure comes again.
Oh, right through his hands.
And right through the outstretched arms of the intended receiver.
Carson Sanders. Man,
Will Veet was the man in defensive coverage that time.
Man, I think that just went right through his fingers.
And we've got I thought we had a penalty, but apparently not. They're just respotting the football at the 44-yard line.
So 4th down and 10, Miller's got to go for it. I mean, they don't.
No reason to put it away right now in a 4th down situation. 5:35 to go. Here's Barrett. Better hurry. Well, they had him.
Goodness.
They let him get away. Barrett gets the pass away. It is caught inside the 35, down to the 34. That may be good enough for a 1st down. What a great way to stretch out that offense. The pass complete to Owen Jones.
Owen Jones.
Here he is. He's
Look
down.
at that.
No,
Yeah.
he's not. Here he comes again.
Nice pass. Good run there. Good second effort. Got that 1st down.
And Jones gets it down to the 33-yard line. So that is the 3rd 1st down of this drive.
Owen Jones, a sophomore.
And the pass incomplete on the or was it picked?
An intercept. Oh, no.
Yeah, they're going to say the ball was incomplete. There was a lot of confusion on the far sideline right in front of the Zionsville bench. Let's check this out again, see what happened here.
Oh, yeah.
Very clearly, yeah. Well, I think what he thought it might have been a fumble, although the arm was going forward. So 2nd down and 10.
Sometimes up here it's hard to see, on that turf that what that ball's doing. And, thank goodness for replays, right?
Yes, absolutely. Will is right on top of it tonight. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the 4th quarter in a 20-0 football game.
We're very lucky to have Will and Lucas. They do a pretty good job.
You betcha. And this time there's just no running room. Back to the 35, so a loss of a yard on this play.
They actually make our job a little bit easier, I can tell you that. One thing about it is, like right now, the band's down there with the cheerleaders and stuff. They're not stopping. I mean, they're enthusiastic. Time out here.
Got another Zionsville player down on the deck. You got somebody you want to sell over there?
Yeah, Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or ecommunity.com.
Will Keller, the injured player that time for Zionsville, goes up under his own power. 4:50 to go now, 4th quarter, 20-0 football game. No scoring in the 1st quarter, no scoring in the 3rd quarter of this game, 17-0 at halftime. With Zionsville getting all 17 of its points in that 2nd quarter, they got a couple of touchdowns and a field goal. They've had the ball 4 times here in the 2nd half and have 3 points to show for it. And here we go on 3rd down and 11. Firing upfield. Well, they missed the guy in the middle. Intended receiver on the near side, and I didn't catch who it was, but somebody went over the middle, and I mean was absolutely wide open. It was, I got to check it because they're running players in on us. It looked like, and I think it was, Josh Durham, number 3, over the middle. But that wasn't the intended receiver in the mind of the quarterback, Jaden Barrett. 4:27 to go, 4th down 11. Here's Barrett in trouble again, lots of pressure, and the pass is incomplete. Double coverage down on the 20-yard line.
On Jones, they're sticking with Jones right now. He's been...
So they turn the ball over on downs. And it's just been that kind of a night for Noblesville. 7 times they've had the football and had to punt it. This time, on the 8th possession, 4th of the second half, they turned the ball over on downs. And with 4:21 to go, Zionsville will get the football on their own 34.
You know, the one thing about Jerry, I know Noblesville can't get anything going, but Jaden Barrett at times looks like he could be a quarterback. I mean, of course he's a senior, and he's just a great athlete.
Well, they're also having to adapt to him a little bit. First off, this is only his second game starting at quarterback. He's a lefty. That does play into it.
Absolutely.
Here's the handoff around the right side, running over the tackles over there, Colin Price. And we'll have to keep an eye on the numbers now, Perry, because they're going to start running bodies in on us here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Jerry, here's a big one. In a double overtime on a field goal, Ben Davis beat Warren Central.
Wow. And this week's football coaches poll had Warren Central as the number 1 team in the state. Not tomorrow, they won't be. Wow.
A big win for Jason Simmons.
Oh, I guarantee you. Put some life in that. And that game was at Ben Davis, so there's a little bit of a home field advantage, if you will. 3:36 to go now in the fourth quarter of this game. Handoff over the left side this time. He'll get it out to the midfield stripe. And
32 Horton, I think, on the carry for.
Yeah, they're going to start running some bodies in there. Jacob Horton is 32. And that is good enough for the first down. That'll be the 6th first down of the second half for the Eagles. Clock running at 3:10 to go now here in the fourth quarter. No particular hurry for Zionsville. They've got this one wrapped up. They're going to go to 3-2 on the year. Looks like also made a change at quarterback. Josh Stone is now running the ball club, number 6.
Stone, a 6'1", 175-pound junior. Horton's also a junior. He's 5'11", 160 pounds.
Gain of 4, second down, 6. No hurry. Now Wiseman is back in there. And the handoff to Horton. Horton will get about 4 of that 6 they need. Inside 2 minutes, clock continues to wind down. This will be the second time this year that Noblesville has been shut out. They lost 37-0 in a game at Carmel, second game of the year. Here's the pitch to the near side. Horton across the 40, and they'll knock him down right at the 40-yard line. And that's another first down. And I would think with a couple of plays, they could pretty much run this clock down. It's starting to wind with 1:20 to play.
Yeah.
Now the play clock starts also.
They're kind of tied. I'm not sure. They're just maybe taking a knee, you think?
Yeah, Wiseman's going to go up under center.
Yeah. They got everybody in tight.
They still got to run a couple of plays. It's a first down and 10, but they'll just take a knee.
Yeah.
Clock continues to wind inside a minute, and the 40-second clock starts up. So they will have to run one more play. And they'll get to the line of scrimmage with plenty of time. Now they're inside the 40-second mark, so that'll do it. They don't have to run any more plays. And we can kind of recap things here, if you will. For the victorious Zionsville Eagles, they scored 3 times in the second quarter. At the 10:33 mark, they got a 31-yard field goal from Freeman to make it 3-0. About 6 minutes later, 4:19, Weissman, a 4-yard touchdown run, made it 10-0. And then Dom Vecchiarella, a 4-yard reception at the 14-second mark of the first half, made it 17-0, and that's how we went to the locker room. No scoring at all in the third quarter, and the only scoring in the game in the second half came at the 6:33 mark with an 18-yard field goal from Chris Freeman, his second field goal of the game that made it 20-0, and that's where things stacked up. And Perry, just going back over the situation with Noblesville before we get out of here. In the first half, the Millers had the football 4 times, and on every occasion, they had to punt the football. In the second half, they had the ball 4 more times. 3 of the 4 times, they had to punt the football after failing to make the yardage. And the other possession, which was their best of the game, the final possession that they had, they started a drive on the 20, ran 11 plays, and turned the ball over on downs. So not to beat a dead horse, Barry, but this goes back to what we talked about at the outset of our telecast tonight. Noblesville's got to find some offense. They did not find it tonight.
No, they didn't, and that running game is still missing in action. One thing about it, Zionsville next week, they're at home against Hamilton Southeastern. Noblesville's on the road for the next couple of weeks. They go to Franklin Central, and then on October 4th, they go to Hamilton Southeastern. So
it just doesn't. It just not. There are no
nothing
easy.
there. Yeah.
You know, after the Franklin Central game, they're 3-1. By the way, Hamilton Southeastern. They ended up winning tonight.
Yes,
Terry?
big.
All right, so they are 2-3 on the year. That's a very deceptive 2 wins, 3 loss football team. Then, as we talked about earlier, when they will come, they being Noblesville, come back home for the October 11th game. Guess who's waiting for them?
Yeah,
Brownsburg. Which is a ball club. It's 2-2. Forget about the record there. That's totally deceiving because they are ranked 7th in the state in 6A. And then on the 18th of October, the 9th game of the regular season, they'll close things out on the road at Avon, a ball club that is now number 2 at 4-0. Possibly would
be number one
in the state.
Orange Central going down tonight.
Yeah. All right. Perry, your final thoughts on tonight's game. It was pretty much what we anticipated. You always kind of hope that maybe somehow Noblesville has found something during the week in practice offensively, and until they do, it's just going to be goose eggs.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Jerry.
Oh,
and,
my pleasure.
I guess
Perry.
you're going to be back here for Brownsburg.
Yeah, I got the Brownsburg game coming up.
All right.
Looking forward to seeing them.
All right.
So our thanks to you tonight for all of your efforts. Our thanks to Lucas Lico, who was our he is our video engineer.
Yeah,
Let's give him that title.
Yeah.
I like that. Don't
Lucas
you like
Lacone
that?
is a video engineer, and
Will Wolford was our producer.
That's right.
And
we can even call him executive
producer tonight, right?
Yeah, his dad's not here, so.
So the final score again is 20-0 in favor of Zionsville over Noblesville. And for Perry Williams, I'm Jerry Baker saying good night tonight from Beaver Materials Field on the campus of Noblesville High.
All right.